Welcome back to the Expensive Coins History channel. Ever wondered which British pennies are worth a fortune? Today, we're counting down the top 6 rare and expensive pennies, from rare minting errors to collectors' dream coins. Let's see which pennies can make you rich. The 1971 new penny holds historical significance as it was among the very first decimal pennies ever issued, making it an important piece of British monetary history. The coin features a youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse side, accompanied by the inscriptions reflecting her official titles, while the reverse side displays a crown portcullis with chains, with the words, New Penny, and the numeral, 1, below. This design represents both continuity and change, connecting the monarchy with the new decimal system. Despite its historical importance, the coin's rarity and market value are often misunderstood. The 1971 one new penny was produced in extraordinarily high quantities, with over 1.5 billion coins minted. This massive mintage makes it a very common coin, and it is frequently found in old coin collections, jars of change, and circulation from the 1970s onward. While many sources and online listings suggest that first-year coins like the 1971 penny could be highly valuable, the reality is quite different. Its widespread availability means that, even decades later, it remains relatively easy to find. The coin is not considered rare by collectors' standards, and its high mintage prevents it from commanding significant premiums in the collector market. Claims of extraordinary value, sometimes suggesting hundreds or thousands of pounds, are largely driven by marketing, hype, or misunderstanding. In actual market terms, a circulated 1971 one new penny is generally only worth a small amount above its original face value, often just a few pence. Even coins in excellent, uncirculated condition might fetch only around £1 or slightly more. Rolls or bulk collections of these coins are similarly inexpensive, reflecting their common status. Despite this, the 1971 new penny still holds value for collectors in other ways. It is historically important as the first decimal penny, marking a major shift in the British monetary system. Its design is a classic representation of the early 1970s era, making it visually and historically interesting. For collectors, it serves as an affordable way to connect with British coinage history, providing insight into the transition period and the evolution of modern coins. Owning a 1971 new penny allows enthusiasts to hold a piece of history, even if it does not offer substantial financial gain. Over time, the coin may gain sentimental or niche collector value, particularly if preserved in mint condition, though it is unlikely to ever become a high-value collectible due to its enormous mintage and common status. Overall, the 1971 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth new penny is a coin of historical and cultural significance rather than a rare treasure. Its worth lies more in its place in British monetary history and its role in the transition to decimal currency than in its market value. For anyone interested in coin collecting, it represents an accessible, affordable, and fascinating piece of the past, a coin that symbolizes the modernization of Britain's currency system and the continuity of the monarchy through the enduring portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. Even today in 2025, while the coin is unlikely to command significant prices, it remains a meaningful collectible, an educational artifact, and a piece of history that tells the story of Britain's journey into decimalisation. Owning this coin is more about appreciating history, design, and cultural significance than making a profit, and it remains a popular coin for collectors and history enthusiasts alike. 1973 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth new penny, also known simply as the 1p coin. This coin is part of the decimalisation period in the United Kingdom, which began in 1971, marking a major shift in British currency from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to the new decimal system. The 1973 new penny was minted during the early years of this change, making it a tangible piece of Britain's monetary history and a coin that continues to interest collectors and coin enthusiasts around the world. The obverse of the coin features a young portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, which was used on British coins during this period. The portrait shows the Queen wearing the royal diadem, and the design captures the youthful elegance and dignity of the monarch in her early reign. The reverse side of the coin features a crowned portcullis with chains, a design element borrowed from the badge of the Palace of Westminster. Surrounding the design is the inscription, "1 new penny," which distinguishes these coins from later decimal coins where the "new" designation was dropped. The coin is made from bronze, which was the standard composition for pennies at the time, giving it a distinctive weight and feel compared to modern coins made from copper-plated steel. The 1973 new penny was produced in extremely high numbers, with mintage figures exceeding 280 million coins. Because of this massive production, the coin is generally considered common, and it does not have a mint mark, which was typical for coins produced at the Llantrisant Mint in Wales during this period. The lack of a mint mark is often misunderstood by collectors who sometimes think it might indicate rarity, but in reality, it was standard practice for the time and does not add scarcity. Despite its high mintage, the coin has maintained interest among collectors because it represents the early years of decimalisation, a historic moment in British currency history. In terms of value, the 1973 new penny is modest in most conditions. A circulated coin with typical wear is usually worth only slightly above face value, often just a few pence over the original 1 penny. Coins in fine or very fine condition may fetch a slightly higher amount, but they rarely exceed a few tens of pence unless they are in exceptional condition. Uncirculated coins, which have retained their original luster and show no signs of wear, can command higher premiums and may be worth around £1 or slightly more, depending on demand among collectors. Proof coins or those from original mint sets can also be more valuable because of their exceptional strike and presentation, but these are relatively rare compared to standard circulation coins. It is worth noting that some listings online or in catalogs may suggest that the 1973 new penny is rare or valuable, sometimes quoting prices far higher than the coin's realistic market value. While it is true that a coin in perfect uncirculated condition or with an official grading may attract collectors willing to pay more, the vast majority of these coins remain common. Any extraordinary claims of extreme value are typically based on speculation, misunderstanding, or marketing strategies rather than true rarity or numismatic significance. Factors that could increase the value of a 1973 new penny include exceptional preservation, inclusion in a proof or mint set, or the presence of genuine minting errors or anomalies. However, no major error varieties are widely recognized for this coin, so the vast majority of pieces remain in the category of common date coins. Collectors should approach high-value claims with caution and focus on condition and authenticity when assessing potential worth. The 1973 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth new penny is a fascinating piece of British history that marks the transition to decimal currency and the early reign of Queen Elizabeth II. While it is a common coin in terms of circulation and mintage, it remains a popular collectible for those interested in decimalisation or early 1970s British coinage. Its value in 2025 is largely determined by condition, with circulated coins being worth just above face value, fine or very fine examples commanding modest premiums, and uncirculated or proof coins potentially reaching slightly higher collector prices. Overall, while it may not be a coin that makes you rich, it is an enduring symbol of a pivotal period in British monetary history and a must-see for any serious collector of British coins. The 1975 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth I new penny coin, examining its history, rarity, collector value, and what it could realistically be worth in 2025. This coin, part of the decimal coinage system introduced in the United Kingdom in 1971, marked a significant shift in British currency. The old pounds, shillings, and pence system was replaced by a simpler decimal system, with 100 new pence to the pound. The 1975 penny features the familiar portrait of a young Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, capturing the regal presence that was standard for coins of that era, while the reverse prominently displays the numeral 1 and the inscription new penny, clearly indicating its denomination under the decimal system. The coin weighs 3.56 grams, has a diameter of 20.32 millimeters, and is composed of bronze, which gives it a characteristic warm color and a pleasant weight in the hand. Despite being produced in large quantities, over 221 million coins were minted in 1975 alone, which means it circulated widely across the United Kingdom. It appeared in pockets, purses, and cash registers, becoming a common part of daily life. Because of this vast mintage, the 1975 penny is generally not considered rare. Its presence in circulation was so widespread that most collectors consider it a medium rarity at best. Even though it is a piece of history from the early decimal era and carries the iconic image of Queen Elizabeth II, the sheer number of coins produced significantly reduces its scarcity. When we look at collector value in 2025, a circulated 1975 penny typically commands only a modest price. Most coins in average condition are worth just a small premium above face value, perhaps a few pence or a dollar. For coins in better condition, such as extremely fine or uncirculated examples, the value can rise slightly, but even then it rarely exceeds a few dollars. Despite claims found online suggesting that these coins are worth a lot of money, actual market transactions and coin catalogs indicate that realistic pricing remains modest. The main reasons for this are the high mintage, the large number of surviving specimens, and the relatively low demand from collectors for a coin that is not particularly unique or rare. It is important to understand that condition plays a crucial role in the coin's value. Coins that have been circulated for decades often show wear, scratches, or loss of luster, which naturally limits their appeal to collectors. Coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition with original mint luster are more desirable, and they can fetch slightly higher prices, but the difference is rarely dramatic. There are no widely recognized rare or special variants of the 1975 penny that would drastically increase its value, and simply having no mint mark or the standard new penny inscription does not make the coin rare. Only unusual errors, perfect strikes, or exceptional provenance would make one of these coins significantly more valuable. If you happen to have a 1975 penny and are curious about selling it, it is realistic to expect modest returns. A circulated coin in typical condition may be worth close to face value, with a small premium. A well-preserved, uncirculated coin might sell for a dollar or two, but claims of large sums are generally unfounded. For serious collectors, the coin holds more historical and sentimental value than financial worth. It represents a tangible piece of the post-decimalisation era, an era when British currency underwent a major transformation, and it features the enduring image of Queen Elizabeth II, making it a charming addition to any collection. The 1975 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth I new penny coin is an interesting and historically significant piece, but it is not rare in the true sense, and it is unlikely to be worth a great deal of money under normal circumstances. Its appeal lies primarily in its historical context, its connection to the decimalisation of British currency, and the familiar portrait of the Queen. For collectors seeking to complete a set of decimal pennies or those interested in coins from this period, it is a meaningful and attractive piece, but anyone expecting extraordinary financial gain should adjust expectations accordingly. It is a coin to cherish for its story and historical significance rather than for its monetary value, and it remains a modest but notable reminder of a pivotal era in British numismatic history. The 1977 no-mint mark I new penny, exploring its history, rarity, and what it might be worth in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just curious about the small change in your pocket, you'll want to stick around for this. The one new penny coin was introduced as part of the United Kingdom's decimalisation, a major overhaul of British currency in 1971. Decimal Day marked the transition from the old pounds, shillings, and pence to a simplified system, and the new penny was among the first coins to circulate under this system. The 1977 coin features Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse in the second official portrait, showing a young and poised monarch, while the reverse design carries a crowned portcullis, a symbol linked to the Palace of Westminster. The coin is made of bronze, weighs approximately 3.56 grams, and has a smooth edge. These coins were produced in enormous quantities, with over 285 million struck for circulation in 1977 alone. While proof versions were made in far smaller numbers, the vast majority of these coins were intended for everyday use. Given this massive production, the 1977 one new penny is generally considered a common coin among collectors. While it holds historical significance as part of the early decimal coinage, its large mintage means that most examples are easy to find. Circulated coins typically show the wear of decades of use, and for most collectors, this means they carry minimal premium over face value. Unless a coin is in exceptional condition, uncirculated, with full original luster, or a certified proof, it is unlikely to be considered rare or particularly valuable. Despite this, some people believe the 1977 penny is a hidden gem. Over the years, online listings and social media posts have sometimes hyped it as a coin worth a fortune, suggesting that finding one could lead to substantial profit. However, the reality is that these claims are misleading. The coin's high production numbers, combined with its common circulation, mean that the majority of 1977 pennies remain ordinary, everyday coins. Any significant value comes primarily from condition, not date alone. So, what is a 1977 no mint Mark I new penny actually worth in 2025? For typical circulated coins with visible wear, the value is modest, often only slightly above face value, sometimes just a few pence. Coins in better condition, uncirculated with no wear, can command a small premium, perhaps £1 or £2 depending on the collector market and whether the coin is certified. Proof coins or exceptionally well-preserved specimens may fetch slightly higher prices, but even these are unlikely to generate what most people would consider a lot of money. The market for these coins is steady but limited, with serious collectors usually focused on rarer dates, low mintage coins, or coins with notable errors. The key takeaway is that the 1977 one new penny is more of a piece of history than a high-value collectible. Its large mintage and common circulation mean that it is widely available, and while it is charming for collectors who enjoy British coinage and decimalisation history, it rarely commands significant prices. The value of this coin in 2025 remains modest, and its appeal is largely sentimental or educational rather than financial. If you do have a 1977 penny in exceptional condition, it's worth preserving carefully. Look for coins with minimal wear, original mint luster, and clear detail on both the Queen's portrait and the portcullis design. Certified coins in high grades will attract the most attention from collectors, and while they may not make someone rich, they represent the best chance of achieving a reasonable premium. For most coins, however, the realistic expectation is modest value, making this coin a historical curiosity rather than a major investment. The 1977 no mint Mark I new penny is a fascinating piece of British numismatic history. It represents the early years of decimal coinage under Queen Elizabeth II, a period of change and modernization for British currency. While it is not rare or highly valuable for most collectors, it still carries charm, historical interest, and a connection to the everyday life of Britain in the late 20th century. Appreciating this coin means valuing its story, its design, and its place in history, rather than chasing exaggerated claims of wealth. In 2025, the 1977 penny remains a collectible for those interested in British coins, a modestly valuable item at best, and a wonderful reminder of the early days of the decimal era. 1978 no mint Mark I new penny from the United Kingdom, a coin that features Queen Elizabeth II. We will examine its history, design, rarity, and current market value in 2025. Whether you are a casual coin holder, a dedicated collector, or just curious about coins from this era, this video is for you. The one new penny was introduced as part of the decimalisation of British currency, which officially occurred on February 15, 1971, replacing the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence. The new penny designation distinguished these coins from the pre-decimal currency. The 1978 coin was minted during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II and features her second portrait on the obverse, showing a young queen wearing a diamond tiara. The reverse displays a crowned portcullis with chains, a symbol adapted from the badge of the Palace of Westminster, along with the inscription, New Penny, and the denomination, 1. The coin was made from bronze, with a weight of 3.56 grams, a diameter of 20.32 millimeters, and a smooth edge. In 1978, nearly 293 million of these coins were produced, indicating that they were intended for everyday circulation rather than for collectors. Despite its historical appeal, the 1978 new penny is generally considered a common coin due to the very high mintage. Millions were produced for daily transactions, so surviving examples are plentiful. Many of these coins have gone through extensive circulation, leading to varying degrees of wear, which further reduces their rarity. However, this does not diminish their historical significance, and collectors often value them for their connection to the early decimal era. The value of any 1978 new penny depends largely on its condition, grading, and whether it exhibits any unusual characteristics. Circulated coins with visible wear are less valuable, while uncirculated examples in pristine condition can command higher prices. Coins that have been professionally graded and certified also carry a premium because buyers have confidence in their authenticity and preservation. Error coins or variants, such as those struck on an incorrect planchet or exhibiting unusual minting defects, can be particularly sought after and may sell for significantly more than a typical coin from the same year. As of 2025, the typical market value for a standard circulated 1978 new penny remains modest, often slightly above face value. Well-preserved, uncirculated coins can sell for higher amounts, but these are exceptions rather than the rule. Rare error coins or unique variants may attract collector interest and higher prices, but they are extremely uncommon. While you may encounter claims online suggesting that these coins are worth thousands of dollars, it is important to recognize that the vast majority of 1978 pennies were mass-produced and are not rare. Only coins in exceptional condition, with recognized errors or verified grading, have the potential to achieve higher market value. If you own a 1978 no mint Mark I new penny, it is a historically interesting piece that represents the era of decimalisation under Queen Elizabeth II. Circulated coins with wear are best appreciated as nostalgic collectibles rather than investments, while uncirculated coins may warrant professional grading to determine any premium value. Coins with unusual errors or anomalies should be carefully examined and documented, as they may hold special appeal for collectors. In general, the 1978 new penny is valued more for its historical significance and nostalgia than as a source of financial gain. The 1978 no mint Mark I new penny is a common yet historically rich coin. It is a wonderful example of British decimal currency and a piece of numismatic history that connects collectors to the era of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. While it is unlikely to make anyone rich, it remains a cherished collectible for those who appreciate its historical context and the story it tells about Britain's currency system. The 1980 no mint Mark Queen Elizabeth II I new penny coin, examining its history, rarity, and its value in the collector market as of 2025. Whether you have one in your collection, found it in change, or are just curious about whether it is worth a significant amount of money, this video will provide a comprehensive understanding of this coin. The 1981 new penny is a decimal-era coin from the United Kingdom. On the obverse, it features the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which was designed by Arnold Machin. The reverse shows the coin's value inscribed as one new penny around a crowned portcullis, a design created by Christopher Ironside. The coin is made of bronze, weighs approximately 3.56 grams, and measures 20.32 millimeters in diameter. Coins minted in 1980 carried no mint mark, indicating that they were produced at the Llantrisant Mint in Wales. This coin exists in an important historical context. Britain transitioned to decimal currency in 1971, changing the system from shillings and pennies to pounds and pence. During the early years of decimalisation, coins were inscribed with new penny to distinguish them from the old pre-decimal currency. The 1980 penny reflects this transitional era and represents a standard circulation coin used in everyday life at the time. The mintage of this coin was very high, over 400 million pieces, making it one of the common coins in circulation during that period. Given its high mintage and widespread circulation, the 1981 new penny is considered common. Its general collector value is modest, especially for coins that show signs of wear from circulation. Most examples of this coin are worth only slightly above their face value, with typical market prices ranging from a few cents or pennies up to under $1 or pound for coins in better condition. The main factor that could increase value is the coin's condition. Coins that are uncirculated, with sharp detail and original mint luster, can attract some premium from collectors. However, even in such cases, the increase in value is usually limited and does not make the coin exceptionally rare or highly valuable. Some online listings or anecdotal claims may suggest that 1980 pennies are highly valuable. Often, this is a result of misunderstanding, misidentification, or the promotion of coins in high grades or with unusual characteristics. Coins with genuine errors, such as double strikes, misalignments, or off-center strikes, can be worth more, but the standard 1980 no-mint mark penny is not considered an error coin. Therefore, for the majority of collectors, the coin's value remains modest. As of 2025, there has been no significant increase in market value for this coin. Standard circulated examples remain worth very little, and even uncirculated examples rarely command high prices. The coin remains an accessible and familiar part of British decimal coinage history, but it is not a coin that is likely to make someone wealthy. Its historical value lies more in its place within the decimalisation era and as a representation of everyday currency under Queen Elizabeth II than in monetary gain. If you happen to have a 1980 penny and are curious whether yours could be more valuable, it is important to examine the coin carefully. Look for coins that are exceptionally well preserved, with sharp details and no wear. Coins with unusual features or minting errors may have some added collector interest. Otherwise, this coin is primarily a collectible for those interested in decimal-era coinage or the history of British currency, rather than an investment-grade coin. The 1980 no-mint mark Queen Elizabeth II 1 new penny is a common coin with historical significance but modest market value. It reflects a transitional period in British currency history and remains a collectible for enthusiasts of decimal coins. While it is unlikely to be worth a substantial amount of money, it continues to hold a place in coin collections as a representation of everyday life and the era of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history and value, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and stay tuned for more insights into fascinating coins from around the world.